Good morning, and thank you, Professor Otsuka Tikaki, for giving me this opportunity today. And good morning to all my colleagues, the participants at the 177 International Senior Seminar, which convened in Tokyo, Japan today. Big thanks and warm greetings from me and from the High Judicial Institute in Libya and from the State of Libya to Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, for organizing this meeting today, and goes to United Nations for Asia and Far East Institute, which supervising this event, and to Professor Morinaga Taro, the director of the institute in particular. And my thanks also goes to the people and the state of Japan. Special thanks to Professor Otsuka Tikaki, who administrates this seminar today. I am presenting a paper today on behalf of the High Judicial Institute, which I am the General Director of it. The paper entitled Alternative Penalties in Modern Criminal Justice Policy and the Position of Libyan Criminal Code on them. It comes to the importance of this topic and the shortcoming of the traditional criminal justice policy. In this paper, which I am presenting today, I will give a definition to the term of alternative penalties and explain the advantages and disadvantages of it, and move on to the types of alternative penalties regarding to this modern criminal justice policy. Moreover, I will have a look on Libyan criminal code to see how the Libyan legislator deals with the topic in its provisions, and give at the end to this paper my suggestions and recommendations regarding the Libyan criminal code.
So I have a question about it. You introduced in your individual presentation paper that in Libya, offenders may request, instead of executing the imprisonment sentence, to employ him or her outside the prison. I think many jurisdictions do not have such system, so it's very unique. But I wonder how many persons or how many rate of the offenders request this alternative options. Majority of the offenders hope to work outside of prison or want to imprisonment, which is popular or favor for offenders in Libya. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your question. Really, I have no exact statistics regarding this, but really the law in Libya gives the power to the judge. For example, if during the sentence of the perpetrator, his behavior is right, and there is a confidence that if he leave the prison will behave well, then he can request from the general prosecutor to be work, for example, for the work release, to work outside the prison and come after the finishing hours of the day, and also sometimes under probation. He can serve his sentence outside the prison under probation, sometimes under supervised probation or unsupervised probation. But this is really based on the behavior of the perpetrator himself. If during part of his sentence in the prison gives signs that his behavior well and he will behave well and change his way, then the judge have the power to substitute this sentence with to be served outside the prison. Thank you so much.
I was impressed the system in Libya. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. And can I add something really, please?
Please.
Thank you so much. Actually, this is what I have said before during when I present my presentation. This is, I think, the philosophy of the new modern criminal policy, because the crime sometimes all the society responsible for it For example, one reason, the unemployment. This is lead or drive the perpetrator to commit a crime. And also the weakness of the education as well. Many factors lead or drive the perpetrator to commit a crime. Then it is not the responsible for himself, for the society which put the responsibility to change the ways of dealing with the perpetrators with this new policy, which is very good, really. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. And I see that Idris-san from Nigeria is posting question in the chat box about the military service and right to request for alternative penalty. So Idris-san, can you elaborate this question? Yes, please.
A very simple one. I just want to find out if it is every offender in Libya that has the right to request for alternative penalties such as community service.
So Parai-san, can you answer?
All right. Really, to be honest, it is not for every offender. The offender of the misdemeanor crimes or the minor crime only. Not, for example, the serious crimes, murder, rape, drug smuggling. No, he has not the right. He has to serve his sentence inside the prison. But this is related with the simple crimes, such as work without license, traffic crimes, most of the traffic crimes, the simple crimes. I am not speaking or the Libyan code regarding the serious crimes. No, for the serious crimes has to serve the sentence inside the prison. Is it clear?
Yeah, very clear. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Okay. So Naomi-san, are you raising your hand?
Thank you for your presentation, Mr. Faraj. It was very informative. My question is about conditional release. In your paper, you have said that Article 450 of the Libyan Criminal Code procedure stipulates certain conditions for conditional release. But in your paper, you have said that the conditional release is issued by the public prosecutor. My question is, does the public prosecutor has a discretion in conditional release of a prisoner, or is it automatic, referring to the statute?
No, really, yeah, it is upon the order issued by the public prosecutor, but has got some conditions. As I said, first, the convicted prisoner has served 3/4 of the sentence, and the period he has spent in prison must not be less than 9 months. This is the first condition. Second, the prisoner behavior must be confident to correct himself and his behavior. Here, it looks that he will behave well after his release. Also, the prisoner must have fulfilled the financial obligations imposed on him by the criminal court in the crime. All these conditions has to be met in order to issue the order by the general prosecutor. And this is up to the request from the judicial police service has to ask or request from the general prosecutor to give conditional release about the perpetrator. But also there is conditions has to be met.
What?
And this is up because the judicial police service has to give a report about this person that will be released to the general prosecutor. The general prosecutor read this report. If he think that the perpetrator or the released person has met these conditions, he will issue the order. And if he releases after that and violate these conditions when he is outside the prison, the order cancelled and will be serve the remaining of his sentence inside the prison.
Thank you, Mr. Faraj.
Thanks.
Hey, thank you very much. Yeah, I also find that part is very interesting because Japan has the independent authority to grant conditional parole board, but your jurisdiction makes the prosecutor have that discretion to do that. Okay, so any other questions? So actually, really informative presentation, I think.